What is up, everyone? Hero276 here, and welcome to today's video, and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we got a face cam this time. Trying this out just to see if you guys like this better, or if you guys would prefer my original video style. Either way, it's up to you guys. I kind of like this a little bit better, but it's whatever you guys think, so let me know in the comment section below. Hope your new year is off to an amazing start. We got a thriller of a video for you today with Shadow Alolan Sandslash running that charge move of Gyro Ball as opposed to Bulldoze as the nuke move. So we're going to see how that performs in the Holiday Cup Great League Edition. So without further ado, let's get started with these battles. We also have a Runerigus and a Pelipper on this team just to kind of balance things out. I did pretty well with this team, so you're going to see these battles here in a second. Pelipper leading into Dunsparce. This is not great. I am going to switch into Runerigus, hoping my opponent panic switches out of the matchup, but they don't do that. They know better, and unfortunately, they are going to stay in here with the Runerigus. Excuse me, the Dunsparce. I do throw the Sand Tomb, so that does lower their defense. Unfortunately, Shadow Claw is double resisted, so it's not going to help me too much. But some damage is just better than no damage, so that's okay. Sand Tomb here, going to be getting this Dunsparce about 60% health, I think. Looks like 60%. We are able to body 2 drill runs, and my opponent does decide to come in with Lantern. And effectively, I'm screwed here, you would think, because this is really my only response to Lantern, this Runerigus here. They cannot Spark down, so I'm actually going to commit both my shields in this matchup. Surf does grab my first shield. I'm just going to continue to build up energy, but they do reach a second Surf, and this is really bad for me. I'm going down 2 shields. My opponent still has 2 shields of their own. So now I'm going to go for Sand Tomb here. Hopefully I can bait out the first shield. Sand Tomb is going to get shielded, which is very nice. And I'm able to reach the Shadow Ball. This is just going to guarantee the KO here. Shadow Ball will absolutely take out the Lantern. And in comes the Dunsparce. And I don't want to get farmed down, so I come in with Pelipper. Pelipper can actually tank 1 Rock Slide in this matchup. It's not as bad as you might think. Rock Slide does about 75% onto this Pelipper. And now I'm just going to go for Weather Ball here. Weather Ball hopefully will grab the first shield. Weather Ball does grab the first shield, which is very nice. They come in with Altaria, and I'm barely able to reach this Hurricane here. Hurricane is going to do some very solid damage onto this Altaria. And it actually gets them below half health, which is quite nice. This is comfortable farm down range for my Alolan Sandslash. I can just Powder Snow all the way down here. Powder Snows are really starting to add up. We can safely body the Sky Attack. Going for the Ice Punch here on the Dunsparce. This is not going to be enough to KO. I switch to my Runerigus, and I'm able to catch the Drill Run. That is a huge catch right there. This preserves the Alolan Sandslash, which is very nice. They end up going for a Rock Slide. I'm able to catch it. It's fine. We take the win there. Very good game to my opponent. Pelipper into Cradily. This is not a great lead. Pelipper has access to Stone Edge, so what I'm going to look to do is I'm going to look to stay in this matchup, and I'm going to farm up as much energy as I can, wait till they get to the Stone Edge, and catch it on my Runerigus. Now, did we catch the Stone Edge? We absolutely did catch the Stone Edge, which is a very good catch right there. And then my opponent comes in with an Alolan Marowak. I'm going to go for the Shadow Ball here. Shadow Ball would one-shot. Most opponents like to call the Sand Tomb bait, and boom! Shadow Ball does one-shot the Alolan Marowak right there. They come back in with the Cradily, and Sand Tomb here, I'm hoping to bait and hopefully grab the first shield. Sand Tomb does grab the first shield, which is quite nice there. I'm going to be able to reach a Shadow Ball here just before I go down, and this hopefully my opponent decides to call as another Sand Tomb, but they know better. They shield up, but now they're down 2 shields, which means I can come in with a Alolan Sandslash and look to Powder Snow all the way down. I'm going to shield because Stone Edge would do a lot of damage, but they do bait me with the Grass Knot there, so that's a bit unfortunate. But my opponent surrenders, and that is game, set, and match. Here we head into game 3, leading into Wigglytuff. So I'm going to keep going and staying in this matchup, just because I don't want this lined up against my Runerigus, because Runerigus has a terrible matchup. So I'm going to go for Weather Ball here. Weather Ball does grab a shield off of my opponent. I'm going to go for another Weather Ball just in case they decide to shield this. And if they shield this, this means I can get off some chip damage. Weather Ball does get shielded there, but I'm able to reach another Weather Ball here against the Wigglytuff, and this will do some solid chip damage. Now this is in comfortable Powder Snow range for the Alolan Sandslash. My opponent is going to throw their energy here, but I'm just going to let this go through. Everything's resisted on this end. So I Powder Snow down successfully. We're going to see what comes in. It's a Lickitung. That's okay. I'm going to end up catching the Body Slam onto Runerigus, and this will waste their energy. So, and the good news is I still have 2 shields, so I can actually safely shield up a Power Whip if I have to. My opponent is staying in this matchup. It's a very good matchup for Lickitung, because Shadow Claw and Shadow Ball are double resisted, and then their Licks and Power Whips are super effective against me. So I will shield up. It is the Power Whip, so a very good shield on my part. I'm going to go for another Sand Tomb here, just continuing to lower this Lickitung's defense here. Sand Tomb does end up lowering their defense there, so I'm going to continue to go for a move, but they have a second Charmer in the back, and Alolan Sandslash is looking really good with that Gyro Ball right here. Alolan Ninetales is about to get absolutely obliterated. Gyro Ball coming through. This will, boom! One-shot the Alolan Ninetales right there. I'm able to go for an Ice Punch up against the Lickitung. Lickitung will tank it because they did reset their defense there. They are going to throw to take me out. Their only hope is that I'm unable to Shadow Claw down with Runerigus, and they do reach a second Body Slam, but they're on 1 HP. One Shadow Claw is going to KO, but are we able to survive 2 licks? Runerigus is able to survive the licks and Shadow Claw down the normal type for the win. So, good game to my opponent. Pelipper into Alolan Graveler. Horrible lead. We have to switch out of this. We're going to switch into Runerigus, and we're met with a Venusaur. So not great off the start. I'm going to go for Shadow Ball here. Most opponents love to call the Sand Tomb bait, so I love to go for the Shadow Ball. Opponent does shield it up out of respect, so a great shield by my opponent. And now at this point, since I already got a shield, I might as well just let this go down. There's no point in preserving the Runerigus in a terrible matchup here. So I am actually going to come in with the Pelipper and look to Wing Attack down. Because with the shield advantage, Weather Balls are actually very threatening up against the Alolan Graveler. They'll do about 75%. So I'm looking to shield nothing, and I will go for a Weather Ball against the Venusaur on the CMP type with a Frenzy Plant, and this will take out the Venusaur. So Venusaur will go down to the Weather Ball. If they decide to come back in with the Alolan Graveler, I'm going to safe switch, but they come in with a Mandibuzz, and this is basically just food here for the Alolan Sandslash. I'm able to go for the Weather Ball and do some nice chip damage, and now up a shield with a very good matchups in the back. This looks very good for my Alolan Sandslash. I bodied the first foul play. It's non-threatening, basically, and I'm going to go for the Ice Punch here. Ice Punch is going to do some solid chip damage to the Mandibuzz. Mandibuzz does decide to shield it up, and at this point, now I'm just going to shield up my Alolan Sandslash. Foul play would KO from this range, so I do shield it up. I throw in between the Snarl so they're unable to catch. Ice Punch will do some very solid damage to that Mandibuzz, and they end up going down there. So at this point, with shields down, I'm just going to go for the Gyro Ball. Gyro Ball will do some nice damage to the Alolan Graveler. Unfortunately, I try to catch onto the Pelipper, and they have a move stored. So this is unfortunately good game here. I don't think I'm going to be able to Powder Snow down in time. They have the back-to-back moves. So the catch there, I tried to get a little fancy. Unfortunately, it did not work. That's okay. You live and learn. Good game to my opponent. They definitely bested me there. I definitely made a couple of misplays at the end. But game number 4, we lead into a Pidgeot. And this is very comfortable to see on the lead. I can go straight Weather Ball in this matchup, and Pidgeots love to shield because they want to land the Feather Dance, right? Because that would lower my attack by 2 stages. Only problem is Pelipper wins CMP on the second one, so this is going to take the second shield off of the Pidgeot, and they are going to go for a move right here. It's the Feather Dance. I'm going to call it, and at this point, they're just going to gust down, but I'm able to reach one more Weather Ball, but I get greedy. I try to go... I don't know what I was thinking there, but I didn't throw the Weather Ball. That's quite unfortunate. However, I do come in with the Alolan Sandslash, and this is actually quite helpful, because I would have gotten in more farm, so they switch into their Crobat, which is not a good response at all to Alolan Sandslash. Ice Punch nearly takes them out. One more Powder Snow is enough. They come back in with the Pidgeot. I'm able to farm down with Powder Snow, Drifblim in the back, and it ended up that Weather Ball did not matter whatsoever, and I am able to take the win there. So my opponent running triple flying, obviously very weak to the Alolan Sandslash. And as you can see here, I'm just going to claim my set rewards. Ended up going 4-1 in this set. Excuse the mess here. I did end up getting more storage on my inventory. It's really ridiculous how they limit you to this much storage, but it's whatever. Frillish as the reward encounter. I'm just going to quick catch, get that out of there, and we work our way to rank 19. I am actually at the ace rank right now. I'm way higher than that. These were filmed quite a while ago. Venusaur lead in the first bonus battle. They come in with Talonflame. My opponent looks like they stop attacking, but they actually get 2 Incinerates through. So I think it was just some visual lag on my end. Weather Ball does end up getting the shield from my opponent. Looks like Pelipper's really core breaking their team if this is their best response to it. So I am going to shield up my Pelipper. I'm going to go here for the Weather Ball. Weather Ball is going to do some very solid chip damage onto that Talonflame, and they shield twice. They throw another Incinerate, which allows me to get in 2 more wing attacks, reach the Weather Ball, and KO the Talonflame. So Talonflame goes down, they have no shields remaining, they come in with a Lantern, and at this point, there's really no point in preserving my Pelipper. I'm just going to let them go all the way down. With a shield advantage, my Runerigus should be able to handle this Lantern, especially after we land the Hurricane, which is quite nice. Probably the safer play would have been going double Weather Ball, because I would have been able to reach 2. Either way, Lantern is below half health. We can safely tank a Surf on the Runerigus. It does more than half health. My opponent catches the Sand Tomb onto Venusaur, so a great play by my opponent. However, it's not going to be enough to save them, as we have a Alolan Sandslash in the back, and those Powder Snows are absolutely ripping apart the Venusaur, forces them into surrendering, and that is game, set, and match. Second bonus battle here, leading Pelipper into a Walrein here. You don't see too much of this anymore, but now with the rise of flying types, I suppose now Walrein is a bit of a threat. So, Icicle Spear, going to do some solid chip damage to me. I'm going to try to CMP here on the next Icicle Spear, but my game actually frame drops, preventing me from throwing my Hurricane there, which is quite unfortunate. I'm forced to burn a shield, but Hurricane here, if it lands, will do some solid damage to that Walrein, and they let it go through, so Walrein goes down. They come in with a Talonflame, and this is not that great, because Runerigus has Sand Tomb, which is resisted, and then Alolan Sandslash just gets eaten alive here. I am able to reach 2 Weather Balls here versus this Talonflame. Talonflame does let it go through, and that does some nice damage, and now I could just immediately bring in Runerigus. I can tank any one move from the Runerigus. If it's the Brave Bird, so be it. It will not KO. They have Trevenant in the back. I switch in my Alolan Sandslash, and they do decide to throw a move here. I'm going to call that it's just a Seed Bomb, and it is just the Seed Bomb, so what a marvelous call on my end. This is just another Seed Bomb, but it would do quite a lot of damage, so I am going to shield it up. And now at this point, I'm just going to farm all the way down, and the Talonflame's going to come back in. They do sneak through the Incinerate, but this Ice Punch should get the shield. And I do have a Sand Tomb stored on my Runerigus, so this will KO the Talonflame, and this will be good game to my opponent. So we take the win there. Hopping into the final bonus battle, we lead Pelipper into Vigoroth. This is a very solid lead for us. Vigoroth would do some very nice damage to my backline, so I'm more than happy to catch this on the lead. They wait till 1 before I'm able to reach the Hurricane before throwing a Body Slam. Very smart play from my opponent. Great timing there, but I am going to go for the Hurricane. Hurricane would one-shot the Vigoroth if they let it go through. Hurricane almost one-shots, but they're able to hang on and reach a Body Slam. At this point, I'm just going to let it go down, come in with Runerigus, and get ahead on energy. My opponent comes in with a Dugong. This actually isn't too terrible for Runerigus. It takes them 5 Ice Shards to reach an Icy Wind, which would not KO from this health range. So I'm going for a Shadow Ball, and they get the shield there, and I'm able to catch onto the Alolan Sandslash. A double resisted Icy Wind, so very good for me. And now I'm just going to go for the Gyro Ball. There's really no point in going for the bait here. I'm debuffed. My opponent really should let this go through, and they do let it go through. So I'm looking very good right now. I'm going to shield up a Water Pulse here, as it would do considerable damage to me. So I do shield that up. Now I'm going to go for the bait. My opponent kind of has to shield if they want to keep this Dugong alive. And by shielding, it proves that they have something weak to a Alolan Sandslash in the back. So very comfortable shield from me there. I do let the Water Pulse go through. It does not KO. They are, in fact, weak to the Alolan Sandslash in the back. They bring in a Trevenant. So Trevenant will connect with the Seed Bomb. It does grab my first shield, but I'm able to shield that, go for the Shadow Ball. Boom! That takes out the Talonflame, and Dugong is just going to get Shadow Clawed down, and that's a good game. So, very good battles there. I'm very pleased with the way that team played out. Do I recommend running Gyro Ball over Bulldoze? Absolutely not. Lantern is just so prevalent in this meta, so that extra coverage is very deserving there, and I definitely suggest that you run Bulldoze to help out that Lantern matchup specifically. Otherwise, you're basically just dead meat. So I definitely suggest doing that. That said, if you guys enjoyed this video, definitely leave a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, so that way you can see all my uploads. I do daily shorts, which I will be resuming once the Master League Premier Cup comes back on January 5th. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment letting me know how you feel about this new video format. And until next time, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.